Welcome our dear students in CairoDar.com. Welcome. We will discuss our syllabus in mathematics, Math 2, and we deal with our first branch, dynamic branch. What we'll study in dynamic first unit about the average velocity, the relative velocity, what the meaning of velocity. We will know together what the meaning of velocity, what the units of velocity, what it means by average velocity or relative velocity. Let us start with first of all, I like to start with our first branch. What is our chapter about relative velocity? We must know what the relation between the time and the distance and velocity and their units. Let's see together the time in second. When distance is in centimeter, then our velocity will be centimeter per second. So dear students, when we talk about distance in meter, so our velocity must meter per second. So let us go together how to change from kilometer to meter, kilometer per hour to meter per second. So first of all we know from kilometer to meter we multiply by 1000, and also from hour to second must change first from hour to minutes and from minutes to hour to second. How? We have 1 kilometer, 1 times 1000, now it's in meter. 60 times 60 means from hour to second. Now 1000 over 60 by 60, it's equal to 5 over 18. So when we change from kilometer to meter per second, we multiply by 5 over 18. Also the converse, when we change from meter per second to kilometer per hour, we multiply by 18 over 5. So from biggest to smallest by 5 over 18. So from the smallest to biggest, so divide by 18 over 5. Also, when we need to convert from 1 kilometer per hour to centimeter per second, so 1 kilometer times 1000, also 1 hour is 60 by 60, and also from kilometer to meter and from meter to centimeter also times 100, so will be 250 over 9. So it's very easy to do it with your own. When you change from kilometer to centimeter, multiplied by 25 over 9, or the converse is true, when we change from centimeter to kilometer, multiplied by 9 over 250. So our conversion now, we are ready to find all our units and velocity. So what is the uniform motion? Uniform motion, when I walk 5 steps regular. What the meaning of regular steps means? Direction with the same velocity. Direction doesn't change, our velocity doesn't change. This is called uniform motion. When we deal with uniform motion, يعني أنا ماشي مثلا 5 خطوات، كل خطوة بعمل ثانية، فأنا ماشي بخطوات منتظمة في اتجاه واحد، فبعمل يونيفورم موشن. يعني ايه يونيفورم موشن؟ انت عارف ان احنا لما بنتعامل مع اليونيفورم موشن احنا بنتعامل مع قوانين الاس والاس مين displacement. And when we talk about displacement, there is big difference between distance and displacement. انا لما اقول لك انا ماشي عامل باس وماشي عامل كيرف، ماشي from A عامل curve to B، انا ممكن على طول اعمل from A to B، دي اسمها displacement. انا ممكن امشي 10 steps وارجع 2 steps، يبقى الجزء اللي انا from initial to terminal دي اسمها displacement. There's big difference between displacement and distance. So we deal with the distance, the displacement as a vector, and we call S vector means our displacement is which is equal to v vector times our time t. يعني مثلا بالبلد كده لما اجي اقول لك مثلا احنا هنمشي بسرعه 100 كيلو في الساعه وهاخد ساعتين من هنا لاسكندريه، يبقى الديستانس قد ايه؟ طب تعال نشوف بقى، نقول مع بعض كده انا عندي الفيلوسيتي 200 كيلومتر بير اور وهمشي 2 اورز، يبقى 100 باي 2 يدينا 200 كيلومتر اللي هي الديسبيسمنت اللي انا قطعتها. يبقى اقدر اقول لك when we deal with the uniform motion we deal with S equal V by T. V is the velocity vector, T is the scalar quantity of the time. So we can find easily V by 1 over T by S or S over T, or also we can find T by S over V. Let us go to what another we deal with another concept in which is the average velocity. What is the average velocity? Average itself means I have 3 pounds, you have 4 pounds, the third have 5 pounds. So we add plus the 3 addition over our number over 3. So the average is the total over their number. So what the average velocity? The average velocity is the mean, is the velocity in the mean time. It means what? It's called the velocity to cover the same displacement at the same time. يعني أنا هعمل same displacement and the same time. يعني أنا هعمل مثلا 3 متر في 2 سكند، وهعمل 5 متر في 3 سكند، وهعمل 7 متر في 10 سكند. What about our average velocity? We can cut S1 in T1 and S2 in T2 and so on. So the average, which is average velocity, is the sum of the displacement over the total time to get the average. Our first example about the average velocity, say a man covered 20 kilometers on a straight line. A man covered 20 kilometers on a straight line with velocity 9 kilometers per hour. So our S1 is 20 kilometers. Our V1, its velocity is 9 kilometers per hour. Then he returned and covered, يبقى هو راح ورجع and he returned and covered 12 kilometers. رجع 12 كيلومتر. in what بقى؟ in opposite direction. طب راح ورجع. طيب رجعها بكام بقى؟ ب 6 كيلومتر per hour. السؤال بيقول find his average velocity. طيب لما اجي اقول لك find his average velocity يبقى انت تفتكر على طول ان انا عايز total displacement over total time. اوكي الديسبيسمنت عندي الديسبيسمنت واحده 20 والثانيه كام 12، بس خلي بالك ال 12 في الاذر دايركشن فهتيجي بالنيجاتيف لان اصلا الدايركشن بتاعك كان اصلا في اتجاه 20 وهو رايح، وهو راجع بقى ال 12 هيبقى نيجاتيف دايركشن. طب تعال عايزين نقول انا المشكله بتاعتي عايز اجيب التايم، عايز اجيب تي 1 وعايز اجيب تي 2. طب ما انا عندي اس 1 وفي 1 اقدر اجيب منهم تي 1، وعندي اس 2 وفي 2 اقدر اجيب التي 2، واقدر اجيب الاس توتال اوفر التوتال تايم عشان اجيب الافريج فيلوسيتي. تعالى مع بعض كده، ادي رايح ب 20 كيلومتر، ادي راجع ب 8. طيب عايز اجيب من اس 1 وفي 1 عايز اجيب منهم تي 1، فبقول اس اوفر في. اس اوفر في اللي هي 20 اوفر 9، ادي 20 اوفر 9 اور. ليه؟ لان 20 دي كيلومتر والفي بالكيلومتر ودي كيلومتر اور. So our second stage is to cover 12 kilometer in direction of C and its velocity 6 kilometer per hour. So we can find T2 in which is 2 over V2. We have 12 over 6 is equal to 2 hours. Now we can find easily V average. we cut two distance and we have two time. So first distance is 20, second distance negative because in opposite direction. So we add their velocity, their distance will be 8. We have T1 and T2. T1 T2 will be 38 over 9. يبقى احنا دلوقتي جبنا S1 plus S2 over T1 plus T2 اللي هو الافريج فيلوسيتي، وانت عارف ان الافريج فيلوسيتي بيجي من التوتال ديسبيسمنت، خلي بالك مش التوتال ديستانس اوفر التوتال تايم. كده رجعنا على الافريج فيلوسيتي، وندخل بعد كده على الريلاتيف فيلوسيتي. يعني ايه ريلاتيف فيلوسيتي؟ نتعرف عليها اكتر ان شاء الله.